Yeah, shop class 101. Never forget to wear your goggles. I just got dust in my eye. We've pretty much accomplished a decent join there in the middle. Here, they weren't perfectly parallel to each other. So, you know, sometimes inaccuracy happens with fatigue or whatever. But what I did was I used an I-beam as a straight edge and clamped on either side of each cross member there, and literally sanded to the metal. You can see where I just started to take off some of the metal there, and I'm happy with that. That's pretty tight. What we're going to do now is figure out a way to cut the tops of these cross beams here into dovetails, like the tenon part of a dovetail. And I suppose what you'd call the dove slide will be machined into the bottom of this. That's the goal for today, so let's see if we can make this baby fit. I've clamped these two together, which gives me a wider working surface, because that router here tends to vibrate when there's a big bit on it, like there is now. Right? So I set my dovetail at the depth I want, and I put a fence there. And I'm a bit nervous about this maneuver, but we've got to do it sometime, so here we go. Not bad. Yeah, I'd say I'm pleased with that. Okay, there's a little bit more meat here that needs to be taken up, but instead of risking messing it up with a powerful machine, I'm going to use the chisel on that one. Well, I heard some scary chipping sounds. I'm happy to say that we didn't get any chip out on this side, so that's great. Okay, so now we've got two dovetails. We've still got this one to do and this one to do, which I'm going to think about before we do it. Well, it looks to me like we can use the same setup to get this, and just pray that we can go slow enough not to break out any of this fragile grain here. Oh, me tofu. Okay, I decided that for the cut to the left there, I wanted to set up a wooden fence and take the auxiliary fence off the router. Alright, I couldn't have hoped for a better result, and any indiscrepancies we see will get smoothed out with the chisel. Okay, you can also see that these two pieces of wood were taken apart from each other and mounted with their leading faces out, which means the backs of the legs are this line here. And I've got to take probably 2 passes, because this is extremely hard wood and the kerf on this blade is really thin. It tends to bend, so I'll do it this way with the fence. Alright, this is the beginning of the big, wide dovetail slide. This is just really, really tough wood. I put up fences to, you know, determine my width and my end point, which is over there. That's over here. I removed the triangle piece. There's going to be another one joined onto it, probably with biscuits again. And what that'll do is it'll also serve to stabilize cupping and bowing that the tabletops tend to want to do. And that's why they put the dovetail slides in, to keep them straight up and down flat to each other, but they can still grow and contract as they travel along that dovetail slide. So what I'm doing is eyeballing first. I'm going to go in free, get the blade just against the line and stop it, and then measure over and put my fence right there. go. Okay. Okay, now on this side I got to set it up like that too, and it's going to be more dangerous because the way routers work is they go clockwise and they want to bite and push, bite and grab. That's why you have the stopper to the right of your forward direction, so it'll just push against the fence here and not be able to go anywhere. Got lucky. So we'll put it back, and here we go. Well, we can see how, again, fatigue, you gotta know when it's time to take a break, because I've got a few divots in there where I wasn't managing to keep the sucker super flat on the table. I got my perimeter pretty clean. My surrounding guides and lines are pretty clean, and nobody's gonna see that when there's a cover plate in there. Don't tell anybody, but that'll be hidden. All right, real good. I'll do the rest and show you the end result. I got in there and removed all the excess material. You can see that that's pretty darn good. Now it's time to see if see how they fit. I almost don't dare show you my first attempt because a lot of times something goes wrong. But you know what? I'm gonna try. Let's just see if we get lucky. Okay, what is really important is to keep in mind how vulnerable this end screen is right here. There's nothing behind it, so it's easy to put pressure and pop it out. It'll be stronger once we cap things off, but at this point I'm not going to push it because I see a twist in the wood. Okay, here's an example where the left-hand side is looking pretty good. Fits tight, minimal cracks, minimal gaps. The other side, we got a problem. Ooh, holy cow. You guys missed one. If anybody out there is an arachnophobiac like I am, I was just cutting this compound miter saw over there, that green thing, and this spider jumped out. He was in the blade guard. Jumped out, hit my hand as the blade's spinning. Oh, that could have been a disaster. Anyway, the things you come to expect only with experience. Check for spiders. Yeah, this was the problematic joint. I cut it wrong. I'll be back in a minute. The problem with this joint is this wood was twisted, and I forgot to take that into account when I drew my common line between the two legs. So I used an I-beam or whatever, but in fact this tabletop is not as straight as the I-beam. So in order to get this to go in, I had to take off another 2 millimeter off this edge and slowly wiggle the whole thing and tap it. I'm hoping I can get it out because I need to disassemble this thing. And what I just want to do is try and clamp it flat, and what I was discovering is that this thing keeps sliding this way. So we've got a challenge. Okay, the goal for today is to get this area here to be able to flip over and slide into a slot, a dovetail slot that I need to make right here. So I'm going to have to take these crossed beams out and machine that, and then get half of this thing in there, then put the cross beams back in so I can mark where they intersect and plan on how to cut those joints there.